Welcome back to our YouTube channel, What's Embody Coaching. We are your hosts. My name is Crystal.
My name is Oscar, and I hope you're ready for another video topic today that will allow you to increase your awareness, tap into your multi-dimensionality, and know yourself beyond the conventional. So, today's episode 1 of our video series, Hebs, Highly Evolved Beings. So today we'll be talking about the 4 stages. So you may take notice and become aware of what it means to become a highly evolved being. So let's start off with stage 1.
Stage 1 is learning. Okay. What is going to be happening in this video, he's going to be asking me the questions. So I'm going to talk about my experience throughout all those 4 stages. And you may understand how the process
How to navigate through these 4 stages and to take notice. So essentially what's happening is that she's reflecting back to you, that freshness from her own acknowledgement of those 4 stages within herself. And all I'm doing is just bringing clarity to her own reflection of what she's going through, what she's experiencing through her path.
I really like the idea that you had before, like let's just go through the 4 stages first, and you say, and then we go back to asking me the questions, so they can understand the 4 stages just as once.
Okay, so let's repeat the 4 stages real quick. So, the 4 stages are going to be learning, believing, knowing, and then expressing who you are, okay? And essentially you go through all these 4 stages and you are becoming a highly evolved being. So, number 1, stage 1. Can you tell me about the learning process?
That is the funniest one.
Yeah.
They're all exciting. I'm not going to say that, but they're all, the learning experience is like a little child, like I told you earlier. It's like you're in this box, and it's like this box is like this box of knowledge is. You're learning about yourself. It's exciting. It's like, whoa, let me just go back. The way that I would start is I start reading a book, and then from that book, the reference that they mentioned in that book, I went to the other book. And then from that other book, the other reference is that it was like, oh, who is this? And then I keep researching, who is this philosopher? Who is this? Where meditation comes from? What is that? And I was like, and then I make the connections, like, my brain was like freaking exploding. It was like a
puzzle, right?
It's like a puzzle. It's literally like a puzzle. And it's like, oh, so I remember that in that book mentioned this and that connect with this. Yeah. It's like, whoa, that is amazing.
Yeah, and what is a puzzle? Think about it. When you keep on putting these puzzle pieces together, right, on a puzzle, you start seeing the actual picture emerging from the puzzle pieces connecting. So the more puzzle pieces that you connect about yourself, the more that you know thyself, the more you learn, you become who you really are.
And after that, go stage number 2.
Yeah.
Believing that you learn, that is truth.
Yes, and then you're becoming that truth. Now you're no longer just learning. You're becoming that which you learn, okay? And this is the 2nd stage. So the first stage, which is learning, is very fun, And I would say a recommendation is that as you go through this learning stage, to go ahead and learn from a place of a child,
Get excited. Get curious. It's literally like a child. When you're a baby and you open your eyes and you see the world, how big it is and how amazed you are. That's exactly the same feeling that you feel when you're learning about yourself.
By yourself. So going back to stage 2, believing. So tell me, can you tell us a little bit about the darkness that comes from having to believe in yourself after you've learned certain things?
How I tell you earlier, it was when we met, I was in that stage because this is tricky. It's really tricky.
It's tricky.
Don't get in the trap like just learning, and then you don't apply that you have learned. And that's what was happening with me. Literally, when we just met, he was like, oh, this and this, and I was like, yes, that's it. The synaptic connections and the brain and your physiology, and it was like everything. And then he told me, no, you need to start applying.
And so what was able to happen was that she was able to become aware that she was only learning, and she was just keeping her mind in that loop. So she was feeling good only because she was constantly learning. But guess what? As soon as she would stop learning
and start believing that I learned, that's when I start to embody that. And thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. If not, I probably would still learning
in the loop.
Correct.
Now, so tell us a little bit about how you started to believe in yourself afterwards. How did you make that shift from learning and then finally saying, okay,
let me just grab that I learned and apply it. If I know that I'm not my thought, let me just stop when I'm going to speak. Calm, okay. So this is not what I'm saying. This is not with truth. Okay, let me just go with this. It's like you literally
stop. What is that called when you finally say stop? To finally make a decision from a place of intention and belief about who you are. Think about it. What does the word believing have in it? Be.
Be. To exist.
Be. To exist. To be that which you are learning. Stop and be. All those things that you learn. If you're learning about canceling your thoughts, if you're learning about staying balanced and viewing things objectively, stop and view things objectively. Build that space where you can finally make clear decisions and utilize your own free will. The fact that you can choose once you stop and become present. But if you're constantly thinking, guess what? You're not always the one making the choices. Your mind is.
Yes.
And again, you are not your mind.
Unconsciously.
And
Yes.
you're not your mind. So that's beautiful about believing, right?
Yeah.
The fact that, and then once you start believing in yourself, now we move on to the next one, right? Which is knowing. Once you go from believing and having to believe in yourself, catching yourself.
Now you start knowing yourself more and more because you start feeling more, believing more. And that's why I said to you, like, all the stages are exciting.
It's exciting. Tell us a little bit about knowing. How does it feel when you finally know something?
It's like
you don't have to believe it anymore, right?
You don't have to believe it because you know that you are that, and the confidence, and it brings everything. It gives you confidence. It gives you that security that you're looking, peace, honesty. It's like it gives you everything. Everything that you need, you find it in that.
Stage 3.
In stage 3, the confidence, the love, the know that you are that. The beauty, everything. It's like you have the whole package.
Yeah, and think about it. You're getting to the point where you're finally becoming your best version, right? This is the whole point, to become a highly evolved being. Guess what? A being that's evolving is becoming their best version, right? Who they really are. So already when you've learned what you need to learn, you've believed, and then you finally arrive to that point of knowingness, now you finally stand in your truth.
And you have the experience.
Yeah, and you have the experience.
That is stage 4.
Yeah, and then we're going to tie it in now, is that because once you start knowing these things, you might not be sharing it yet. You might know a bunch of things about spirituality. You might have experienced your psychic abilities expanding. You might have experienced leaving your body or becoming very aware about other people. That's great. You know all those things. But are you expressing that,
day
right? Day by day, being of service to others so that others
with
may evolve with intention. Telling yourself, very aware that, okay, I know about myself, let me share others, let me give others love so that everyone may know themselves, right? Because what else is more important than knowing yourself? And
then you give that to others. You are being of service.
Yeah, being of service. So then we arrive to the last stage. This is the stage where everything ties together. And you're going to see why it's so important, right? From viewing the first stage to the last stage. So let's talk about the last stage. Expressing. Finally being able to express all those things that you learned, that you believed, and that you know on a day-by-day basis for the world.
I'm currently working on that one.
Mm-hmm. But you're there.
I'm there. It's like I'm shifting between expressing.
Between realities.
Yeah,
you're shifting
like,
reality of yourself. One day you're going to feel this way, but guess what? You know you can
until you get the balance of all 4 of them. You're aligned with that.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I'm working on that. But for what I can tell is slippery. It's like this. It's like bliss. Like you feel your heart like expanding, and you love everything, and it feels free. You're free. You're a free spirit.
And that tells us a little the darkness again. I want to bring over the darkness because you cannot know yourself without knowing your darkness first.
Yes.
Completely.
Compassion, and have compassion with your own same darkness.
Yeah, and tell us. So when you're expressing, right? When you're learning to express all that you know and all that you've learned, what's that difficulty that keeps coming through that doesn't allow you to be who you are? To express that. What is it?
That.
What do you call that?
what happens is what keeps you in the way to becoming your best version obviously is you.
Okay.
Your darkness, your own darkness that is like getting in the way because you want to be perfect, you want to look like this, and you want to be like this, and it's like you're imperfect, but at the same time you're perfect.
Yeah. So one simple paradox: you are an imperfectly perfect being. At your highest state of evolution, you are
because
perfect.
you need to accept that imperfection.
Yeah. To achieve that perfection that has always been there.
It's beautiful
Yeah.
because that's when you create self-compassion
Yep.
with yourself,
And then
loving
to
yourself unconditionally,
for all others too. So imagine. So
accepting your flaws.
accepting your flaws, and so that I feel like just tell them a little about that. A little more about. So what we've been communicating, what we've been digesting, right? As of this week, this and talking about this last stage is that we're able to see how many past patterns of your own self will come to test you, will come to revisit you, right?
Yes.
To make sure that you want to move on to the next stage of your own evolution. So are you choosing the past and what you're comfortable with, or are you choosing the path of liberating yourself and no longer suffering? Getting sick and tired of being sick and tired, and saying
you gotta get to that point. I have
Yeah.
to be sick and tired of being sick and tired.
and that's why
And
a lot of
that's
the
what
times
change it.
we have to suffer. Sometimes we have to suffer so much so we can finally let go.
But if you think about change happening in a moment, in an instant, that instant that you make the decision, no more, I'm tired, I'm making the decision, I'm not going back again. Change happened in a moment.
Why?
Like
Because
this.
everything is
Boom.
now. So guess what? As soon as you decide to, as soon as you make
You're
that
becoming
shift,
that reality.
you're becoming and you're shifting into that reality of yourself, right? You don't have to wait 10, 20, 1, 2, 3 years to
Yes.
achieve where you want to be, to become the person you want to be. That person that you want to be is right now. And as soon as you become that person, as soon as you make that choice, your outer reality, everything around you reflects that shift.
That's it.
And that's it. And then now, let's wrap it up with the main thing we were talking about earlier, which was this entire process will keep on repeating itself. So you can move on to the next and next and next level. And it's the understanding of going from conceptual
to
experiential. You're going from a conceptual being, not really knowing about themselves, right? Admitting that you don't know about yourself, or learning about yourself, and then finally, little by little by little, arriving, or in an instant, arriving to that point of experience. You are the experience. You are the truth.
you are that.
You are the reflection of that amazing truth. You are excitement. All the exciting things that you learn, leaving your body, evolving, being unconditional love, you are that, bro. You are that. You're exciting. Okay?
So may the love and light of the universe always guide you and protect you. I am your host, Crystal.
I'm your host, Oscar.
And we will see you in our next episode, number 2, where we will be talking about
Compassion. Okay,
Yes.
so hope you guys are ready for the next video as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and
Yes.
took out something that will allow you to become more of you.
and
Okay.
become your true self.
Yeah, you are your true self.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware, you see?
Yeah, you always catch yourself. Peace.